Hi, guys.
Hi, so this is Life with Trey and Jay.
I'm Trey.
And I'm Jay. So today's discussion is on soul ties.
Dun, dun, dun.
Soul ties is actually a good thing and it could be a negative thing. So we'll discuss our soul ties in our life. And so far it's been a negative thing for us.
So just a little FYI, we had to do this. This is our second time doing this.
For this particular topic.
Yeah. Because it got mad emo up in here and we really had to stop and pray.
Yeah.
Just to really clear the space, clear our hearts, clear our minds, and truly just clear our souls to be able to talk about this. Because it's personal, it's very personal. Yeah. It's something that we definitely have dealt with or are currently dealing with. And I will definitely say that I'm the one that's currently dealing with it. So if you can see, I got a napkin. Don't be alarmed.
Prepared and ready to go.
Prepared. All right.
So this one may be a little long, maybe a part 2, who knows, but we'll see. All right, y'all. So you want me to go first?
Yes, please. Take the energy off of me.
All right. So, So a positive soul tie. So in Matthew 19:5, and I'm going to just read it really quick in the Bible, gives a definition, not a definition, but the description, the verse helps you to understand what soul ties are. So it says, and for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and shall cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. So a soul tie is becoming one flesh with someone, connecting with that person, and a lot of times it has to do with sex. There's other ways to connect with someone, obviously through sharing emotional things with someone, being very vulnerable with someone, and on a consistent basis, I would say, for a long period of time. And I think I've definitely connected with someone deeply, and it has nothing to do with sex, but I was connected to a guy who I was talking to, and I was that's just, Tracy's
That's my niece and nephew. Shout out to them. Today's my nephew's birthday.
So they turning up there.
6, so he's all turned up. So is my niece.
He's probably
what we're
right.
talking about. Right.
And so I was connected to a guy, and I didn't have sex with him. I probably kissed him maybe 5 or 6 times. Sounds like a lot, but it wasn't.
The emotional attachment.
But there was such an emotional attachment, and it hurt. But the one that hurt the most, the 2 that hurt the most, my relationships in the past, was when I was consistently having sex with these guys. And so I've had 2 relationships where the guy I lost my virginity to when I was in high school. I was a young 15, 16-year-old, and by the time we had sex, I thought I was doing something because I waited until we were in love, I guess. And I was like, oh, he loves me, so, he's never going to leave, blah, blah, blah. But we were 17. He was 18, I was 17. And I lost my virginity to him, and he was my high school sweetheart. Everybody knew him. But when we got to college, he went and had sex with 4 or 5 different girls. Actually, I don't even know how many. And that hurt me to the core. It actually... I actually probably just got over that maybe a couple of years ago, because I was defining that old new relationships based on that relationship, because it hurt me so bad. It was because I was with him as if I was married to him, and I was not married to him, obviously.
Just want to say, keep in mind that soul ties can definitely get down to the root of your bone. It's not even something where it's it just touched me here. It's
it's very
inside,
deep.
Deep.
It's in your
really
soul.
In there. Yeah.
And so, I would say that's a good example of a negative soul tie, because it was very difficult to get out of that situation, and to actually, it wasn't difficult for me to get out because he cheated and I left. But for me to live without thinking of him and wanting or yearning to be with him, it was so hard. And it was kind of like uprooting a tree. I don't know if you've ever uprooted a tree. A lot of times they cut down trees, but if you ever take a tree from its root, it takes a long time, right? Because its roots are so deep in the ground and spread. And that's how it was for him and I. And I made this mistake again in college, 5 years in this relationship. Kept on having sex with him, and I decided to be celibate, and I still went back. It was the hardest thing to be celibate because I was so used to getting my love and appreciation from him and the attention that I need, and he just knew what to do, and it was so unhealthy because I went back to him. We went back to each other when we knew we should have broke up from the 5th month, and it was 5 years. And so
You be knowing. Like,
yeah, I knew.
Knowing.
5 years in.
You be knowing. Relationship is done. But you like.
But I'm going to say, you know, zaddy. That's so funny. So anyway, so like those are my examples. But then a good example right now is, I mean, I'm currently engaged and I'm not. We haven't had sex or anything like that. But eventually, you know, when we get married, we will obviously have sex. And our souls will become one, like the scripture said in Matthew 19:5. Like he would cleave to me, and I would cleave to him, and we would like connect. Mm-hmm. And so the point is that we've made a decision to be with each other for the rest of our lives.
Right.
And yes, he could mess up. Yes, I could mess up. But the way we have planned to be together for the rest of our life. It's a covenant. It's like a
not a contract.
Right. It's deeper than a contract, and so and at that point to say, okay, I can be with this person and like give my body to them.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And our souls could intertwine.
Oh, girl, Janelle's out here dropping.
And it's so much to it, but that's like as much as I guess I could say in this little bit of time. Yeah.
So yes. So anyway, right?
You know when she scratches and her eyes close? Like
yes!
You know something
good
is gonna happen.
Real? Woo! All right, but anyway, real talk. So I'm definitely in the I feel like there's certain points in my life that I feel like, yo, I'm really doing great. I feel great. And then there are other things where I realize like, yo, you still mentally know these things. I was trying, guys.
It is okay. And I think the only reason why I'm not crying is because it's so many years. For me, it's years and years, you know? For Trey,
get like a sentence out.
Trey is like going through it.
Whew. All
now.
Right. So, so I've been single for about 2 years now. And so today, like, I'll just give you guys an example. There are so many different things that I mentally have to do, like practically, things that I have to do in order to make sure that I find different practical ways to separate myself from that relationship. And like one of the things that I do is I love to cook personally. Like I genuinely love to cook, but most of the time when I would cook for more than just two of us, which is myself and my ex, it would be for him and his friends. So whenever they would like come over and stuff. So like today we have a whole set. Y'all don't see it, but we got a whole load of people behind these cameras. And I was really excited to cook for them. And the reason why I was personally excited to cook for them is because I just really wanted to distance myself from only cooking for him and his friends and defining cooking for a group by him and his friends. There's
new memories.
Right. There's certain places that I haven't really been to, and it's funny because the past 2 weeks I've been to 2 particular places that him and I used to go to and frequent a lot, and it was so weird because I was so weird in like a great way. So I went and I'm thinking like, yo, I'm gonna be mad nervous, and I went and I felt so good because I was like, Dad, God, like you really here with me. Like I don't feel like I'm out here by myself. And so every time there's a memory, and I'm gonna cry again, so hold up. It's all right. It's all right. Because it waters the earth. One of the things that I noticed was that finding different ways in which to plug God into all those voids that you start to feel when you're really plugging yourself away from a soul tie, and it's really magnetic. It's like I'm using the word plug because there's electricity there. It's like,
and then one has to click into the other, like you know.
It's like, and then when it clicks, it's like boom. This is perfection in your mind at that time. You think it's perfection, but it's not. It's really an unhealthy connection to someone else. And I'm not saying that sex is the only thing that tied it, because I don't believe that sex was the only thing that tied him and I. So I'm Haitian, guys, if y'all ain't know. But I'm Haitian, and there's this phrase called like we were 100%. So like 100% is like blood to blood. Like we were like blood to blood.
How long were you guys together?
For 9 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, so it's like my blood is your blood is my blood. It was like, it was just so in. So every time I feel like there's a memory, every time I feel like there's an experience, that I have to consistently just plug God into it, because I have to then be able to create memories with God. Like, Jesus is really bae. Like, when I'm saying Jesus is bae, I like legit mean Jesus is bae, because this is the first time in my life that I've been single, that I've been enjoying time with him. I never knew what that was. I was very scared of this. I was extremely scared of singleness. I'm gonna be mad real with y'all. Mad scared.
And a lot of people can relate to that.
Like, because in your mind, you automatically think single, lonely. And I don't feel lonely. Right. Like, legit. Yes, of course, like, I'm not having sex. Like, of course. Right. There are things that I'm not doing. I'm not having sex. I'm not pop locking and dropping. I'm not masturbating. Like, I'm not doing all of those things. But it's like, at this time, I'm actually really getting to know God and my relationship with him. There's a fly here, and Belmont is trying to catch the fly. So if that's what you're seeing. But yeah, so ultimately, it's just every time something is going on in my life, I get the opportunity, and I'm using the word get to, because it's not a have to, it's a choice. Exactly. But I really get to plug God into all of it in all ways, and allow him to truly permeate my space and my spirit, my friendships, my relationships, everything and about me.
And have a soul tie with him.
And allow him to really be my stronghold. And so that's really what it looks like, guys. I thank you guys for even bearing and having patience with us, because I definitely we had to like cut this originally, because I was like, I can't take it. But that's really what it is. So,
but we gotta go.
So we gotta be like, yo, okay, we got the hands. So, so ultimately, you know, I really just wanted to say that soul ties is something that you can see in the word. This is not something that people just make up, because I know a lot of times people are, oh, where did you get this phrase from that's called soul ties? It's not specifically listed in the Bible, but you can see examples of soul ties
we talked
in
about
the Bible.
In Matthew 19.
There's so many different things. Yeah, he's turning up. It's his birthday. He turned 6. So, yeah, so there's so many different things that really, like, you get to really plug God into. So just that, and even addressing your loneliness, because as I said, automatically in my mind, singleness meant loneliness. It didn't mean joy. It didn't mean
so the fact that you are now single and you were in a relationship where there was a soul tie, what is life like now? I know you mentioned it a little bit. So what do you do now? How do you enjoy your life now?
Honestly,
and how difficult can it be sometimes?
It can be very difficult sometimes, but let me give you an example. So there was a few weeks ago, I actually got my tooth pulled. I had an abscess and wisdom teeth, all that, and then some. And I was like in full pain. When I mean full pain, I mean like ringing pain. And so what happened was, I was like, oh my gosh, I need somebody to call to help me. And then I started praying, like, automatically. And later on in the day, God was like, yo, shout out to you.
That's how he said it?
Like, yeah, that's how he talks to me.
Because like, that's how she talks.
He'd be like, yo, Trey, shout out to you, boo-boo. And I was like, you got it, man, you got it. Ow. But anyway, yeah, so he was like, shout out to you, because normally I haven't really been sick or feeling, uncomfortable or something really wrong with me in the past 2 years. So, and I felt this ridiculous sensation from my tooth hurting. And the first thing I did was pray rather than look to my bed. And on the other side of my bed was supposed to be my ex, you know what I mean? In my mind at that time. And he just really allowed me to notice, like, the first thing you did was talk to me.
Right.
And I really love that you did that. So,
and God is filling those voids that you had because you tried to fill it with your ex. And the same thing for me. I think that's the case for soul ties. Mm-hmm. You're filling that person, you're filling your voids where God is supposed to be with that person. So we shared our stories, and we want you to share yours. And so, Trey was vulnerable. I was vulnerable about our particular situations. So it's up to you but please share your story. We would love to hear from you and find out what was going on with you. And if you do have a soul tie, and if we can help pray for you, whatever it is, we would love to do so.
Yes, definitely hit us up at Life with Trey and Jay. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, all that. Definitely
All
hit
that,
us up.
however you spell all that.
My bad. The kids were like staring.
So we at Trey's house and they're literally like staring
right,
at us.
Right.
But anyway, guys,
Bad,
with
guys.
that being said, we gotta go. So hit us up.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Hello.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, just say something, like a sentence or two.
So,
About anything.
It's rolling.
We shall discuss.
So tired.
Right.
we're definitely about to have a part 2 because there's way too much to talk about in this right here.
First one.
Right now. Because we just out here just scratching the surface. It's a lot.